President Trump continues to operate at full speed less than 3 weeks into his term. He is disrupting and reshaping the federal government with some help. 11 Alive's Savannah Levins talked about it with moderator of NBC's Meet the Press, Kristen Welker.
We are seeing a lot of anxious federal employees because of the uncertainty surrounding their employment, and also now some concern about Elon Musk and his involvement. Kristen, how much of this is a surprise versus the president following through on plans that he'd already laid out?
Savannah, it's a great question. Look, President Trump did campaign on a promise to try to cut government spending, but it is safe to say the speed and the breadth with which he is doing it has come as a shock to even some of his closest allies. So you have some pushback from Democrats, but from Republicans as well. It's really notable. Senator Susan Collins, for example, of Maine, says that President Trump has empowered billionaire businessman Elon Musk, quote, far beyond what I think is appropriate. Lisa Murkowski said this, Savannah. She says, quote, by circumventing proper channels and procedures and creating the potential to compromise the sensitive data of Americans, we create a tremendous amount of unnecessary anxiety. That is wrong. Good governance is based on trust, not fear. I go back to the fact that there have been a number of legal challenges. Democrats say that may be their best recourse on the one hand. On the other hand, they acknowledge the courts really can't keep up with the pace and breadth of what we're seeing from President Trump and Elon Musk.
Yeah, a lot
Savannah.
Still to be seen. And this Sunday on Meet the Press, you're going to talk with New Jersey Senator Andy Kim, a Democrat, and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. There's a lot happening right now with confirmations, as well as the president's global agenda, which includes a contentious plan in Gaza. What's the feeling there about potentially relocating Gaza residents to other countries?
Well, it was so fascinating. President Trump made that statement that the United States would take over Gaza. He didn't rule out putting U.S. boots on the ground. And then very quickly the next day, his administration officials, his press secretary, his secretary of state, the president himself walked that back and said, wait a minute, the president did not mean to suggest that U.S. taxpayer dollars would go towards rebuilding Gaza, nor will he be putting U.S. boots on the ground. But look, Savannah, that's going to be in focus this weekend. There's no doubt about it, because I think people are still looking for clarity there. The big question, which has always loomed over this conflict, what is the day after plan for Gaza? President Trump saying, look, I've come up with one. It was met with a lot of backlash, including some Democrats who accused him of basically proposing a policy of ethnic cleansing. So we will be unpacking all of that on the program this weekend, Savannah.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Meet the Press airs Sunday morning. It'll be at 10 o'clock, followed by the Georgia vote right here on 11 Alive. Kristen, thanks as always.